And let's start with our first caller, who is Angela. Hi, Angela.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, what would you like to ask?
I've had my mortgage for 22 and a half years. It was a 25-year term, and I've recently just had a letter from the Endowment company to say that they can redeem, it's made its money and we can repay it early. So my question is, do we do that, or do we keep paying the money to get a tax-free lump sum at the end? I don't know whether to do that or put that money aside in a separate account and save ourselves independently.
Okay.
Well, first of all, well done. Most endowments have been a nightmare for people, so well done on being one of the few it worked well for, which is a good point. This is really simple. In a nutshell, you're asking the... Lots of people ask me this. They say, I've got savings, should I pay off my mortgage or should I put it in a savings account? And yours boils down to roughly the same question. And this all depends on what your mortgage rate is. Do you know what the interest rate on your mortgage is?
We were paying the base rate.
So you're paying 0.25%?
Yes.
Well, you've not just been lucky on your endowment. That's an absolutely outrageously cheap mortgage deal. OK, so normally what I say is if the mortgage rate is higher than the after-tax rate on your savings, pay off the mortgage. Make sure you've got an emergency fund if you're going to be paying it off. Always keep it aside. Make sure there are no penalties. But if the mortgage rate is lower than the after-tax rate you can earn on savings, then you should save. Well, 0.25%, even today's horrible savings rates, top easy access rate at the moment, 1.25% with Ulster Bank. You're able to get 2% with Atom Bank if you fix for 2 years. Yeah, so savings rates are higher than your particular mortgage.
So is that the base rate or the standard variable rate?
I think it's the base rate. I know it's absolute minimal.
Yeah, if it's 0.25%, it's the base rate. If it's a standard variable rate, it's 4%, and it's exactly the opposite putting in savings. But the base rate's a specific term. I mean, you're talking the Bank of England base rate.
Yeah.
It's 0.25%. If you've got a base rate tracker, this must have been 10 years ago or something you got that.
22 years, she said.
22 years of mortgage. You
I've
wouldn't have
had
got a base rate tracker then.
Oh, it must be the base,
Standard variable.
the standard variable, sorry. Yeah, standard variable.
Oh, and it's not
That's
absolutely
different
minimum
then.
then. Who's the bank?
Sorry?
Who's the bank? It's not...
Nationwide.
Nationwide or Lloyds. OK. So Nationwide has two standard variable rates. You're probably on the old one, which is still pretty cheap from memory, and I'm dredging this, so it may be wrong. It's around the 2% level. At 2%, if it is the standard variable rate and you're paying around 2%, in that case, you're probably better off just clearing the mortgage than you are putting the money in savings. There are people on base rate trackers out there, so it could have been that one. You need to check your mortgage rate. This is the maths. If you can earn more in savings than the mortgage rate, save. If you can't, pay off the mortgage.
All right.
So go and check what your rate is.
Thank you,
Right, thank you
Angela.
very much
Well
indeed for that.
done.